Hi folks, it's David O here in my sukkah in Karmi'El, our sukkah in Karmi'El. You know, normally this year I study the wisdom of those who came before and try and share it with you as it relates to me, as it relates to you, and to Eretz Yisrael and the calendar. I didn't do that this time. I want to tell you a small story. Many years ago, the Rebbitzin Yelena and I were considering buying a catering company, Jewish catering company. And so we spent 2 weeks shadowing the owner of the catering company, trying to decide if this was a life that we wanted for ourselves. In the end, we decided not to invest. But the owner taught us something very interesting. He said the success of a successful caterer is dependent on having great hors d'oeuvres and great desserts. That is really what it was. Why? Because when you bring people to a simcha, to an event, you want them to begin by feeling welcome and enjoying all the good foods. By the way, just excuse me for a moment. Our neighbors are also preparing for Sukkot. They have a big family, and so you'll hear them in the background as well. In any case, the caterer said to us that hors d'oeuvres are critical because it's the first food people eat when they come to the simcha. And it's very important they have a memory of, wow, that was great. We felt welcome and everything was so yummy and delicious. And the last thing they eat is the sweet table, the desserts. And they should have a memory of that. Interestingly, the main course is often filled with listening to speeches and discussions and stuff like that. And maybe it's not quite as critical as you might have thought it would be. Hors d'oeuvres and desserts are the key to a successful caterer. Sukkot is a very interesting holiday coming up this week. It is the third event of the 3 major holidays of the Jewish year. The planting comes with Pesach. The full bloom and harvest time begins with Shavuot, and the ingathering and the completion and the success of the year is determined on Sukkot, when the fruits and the grains are brought in and harvested. Sukkot is also the third event in the holidays of Tishrei, the high holidays. They begin with Rosh Hashanah, the 100 blasts of the shofar, the crowning of the king, the Day of Judgment. They move on to Yom Kippur, the holiest day of the year, the Day of Atonement, the Day of At-One-ment with Hashem, the day in which our fate, we say, is sealed in the Book of Life. And after the conclusion of that comes the final holidays of that time, which are Sukkot, which mean DESSERT, with Simchas Torah as well. So it would seem the one commonality in all of this is that the third, the dessert, so to speak, is Sukkot. The sweetness. What these events leave us with. Certainly Yom Kippur is the main course of Tishrei. And certainly Matan Torah and Shavuot and the harvesting is the main course of the 3 holidays. Pesach, Shavuot, and of course Sukkot. And the hors d'oeuvres, well, also true. Right? The entrance into the high holidays is this magnificence of Rosh Hashanah, with the shofar, with the welcoming, the beauty, the preparation for this time. Pesach, the cleaning of the house, the preparation for what is really the first day, the first major event of the first month, the 15th day of the first month. Pesach. But the dessert of all of them is Sukkot. Sukkot. The ingathering. We also describe it as connected to Messianic times, the ingathering of the exiles to the land of Israel. And as you can hear from my neighbors, we have gathered together for sure. There is an ingathering, and the new state of Israel, only 70 years old, is filled with Jews who have come home. And so, I guess my blessing for you, as I sit in my sukkah preparing for Shabbos Hazinu, followed by Sukkot, is to wish you a sweet dessert. When we leave a court of judgment in which we have been tried, a din, a beit din, which is really what the high holidays are. Day of Judgment, sealing. The winner of the court battle leads with his spear held high. This is the lulav of Sukkot. It is a sign that the judgment was for us, as it should be. And the sukkah itself is described as the embrace of God. A sukkah can be four-sided and it can be three-sided. But if it's three-sided, what does it mean? Which are the three sides? Right? We're told that one side can be as narrow as this. 3 tefachim. 1, 2, 3. Where would it be? Could you have a long side and a short side, and then on the far corner, the third side? No. The third side must be connected to the other two sides. And so you have the embrace of the lover, the embrace in bed, the embrace that's described in the Song of Songs. That is to say, one side is here, one side is here, and then cradled in the third side is here. And so as you enter the sukkah, know that you enter the sweet embrace of Hashem. That you begin a new year, looking forward, not backward, cleansed and ready, with a favorable judgment. You should have a year of peace, a year of health, a year of fulfillment, and a year of nachas from your loved ones. And so I want to wish you Hag Sameach. Enjoy dessert. So it should be. David Ostriker in his sukkah. Bye-bye.